Emerald Fennell's bold reimagining of Emily Bronte's classic novel Wuthering Heights has arrived to a storm of polarized reactions from critics and audiences alike. Starring Margot Robbie as Catherine Earnshaw and Jacob Elordi as Heathcliff, the film takes significant liberties with the source material, resulting in a divisive reception that ranges from glowing praise to scathing condemnation. Some hail it as a daring, sensual, and emotionally charged experience, while others dismiss it as a superficial, over-the-top misfire that disrespects the original Gothic masterpiece. The adaptation centers on the intense, destructive passion between Cathy and Heathcliff, the brooding pair often compared to literature's ultimate tragic lovers. Fennell has been upfront that her version is not a faithful retelling. She pares back subplots, alters characters, and injects a modern, provocative sensibility. This approach has led to accusations of prioritizing style over substance, with the film described as visually lush but emotionally hollow in certain reviews. The central romance dominates, sidelining much of the book's broader themes of class, revenge, race, and the wild Yorkshire moors. Critics who panned the film focused heavily on its explicit content and tonal choices. Several pointed to the exhausting and prolonged sex scenes that some felt overstayed their welcome, blending elements reminiscent of Barbie, Robbie's prior iconic role, with BDSM-inspired dynamics. One review suggested the portrayal defines the poor as sexual deviants while casting the rich as naive prudes. Jacob Elordi's Heathcliff drew particular ire, with descriptions calling him a wet-eyed Mills and Boone mirage, or criticizing him as being plunked, in front of the camera without depth. Margot Robbie's Cathy was alternately praised for her wild energy and critiqued as a Bronte Barbie, in a vapid interpretation that fails to capture the novel's complexity. Negative assessments describe the film as a bodice-ripping misfire, emotionally hollow, and ersatz sad, likening it to a frantic music video or a Baz Luhrmann-style spectacle with mock emotion. One critic lamented it as a club night of mock emotion, while another called it an insulting experience for those who cherish Bronte's Gothic depth. The opening sequence, involving body mischief at a public hanging, was seen by some as more carry-on style humor than subversive edge. Accusations of whitewashing surfaced regarding Elordi's casting as Heathcliff, a character with gypsy heritage described in the book with dark features, and Robbie's age being notably older than the youthful Cathy. On the positive side, certain outlets celebrated the film's unapologetic sensuality and visual flair. It was called resplendently lurid, oozy and wild, with passions vibrating through costumes, settings and every frame. Robbie's performance received high praise for making Cathy wild, selfish, yet possessed of a hidden conscience and innocence beneath entitlement. The movie was described as utterly absorbing in its own right, an obsessive exploration of obsession that draws viewers into its mad compulsions. Fennell's style was defended as understanding that style can be substance when you do it right, creating a trembling, transgressive experience. The film's provocative elements, including masturbation scenes, hungry glances, and a long tease of sexual desire that Bronte could only hint at, were seen by supporters as surfacing the novel's underlying sadomasochism. Fennell herself has spoken passionately about the book cracking her open as a teenager, describing it as illicit and personal material filled with extreme masochism. She viewed adapting it as an act of extreme masochism, given its deep meaning to readers, and she embraced the shock value that originally accompanied the novel. Mixed reviews acknowledged the film's departure from fidelity while appreciating certain nods to the text. Some noted more lewd moments were anticipated but delivered with mischief rather than outright pornography. Others praised the phallic architecture, suggestive imagery, and refusal to be another Reverend Sunday evening adaptation. The cast's performances were occasionally pushed toward pantomime, but the extravagant swirl, sexy, dramatic, melodramatic, comic, and swooningly romantic, was compelling for fans of bold reinterpretation. Ultimately, the divide reflects broader debates about adapting classics. How much innovation is too much? Fennell's version excludes vast swaths of the plot, focusing obsessively on the affair to the exclusion of almost everything else. For detractors, this results in a handsome but empty exercise in cinematography over soul. For admirers, it vibrates with private frequency, leaving audiences quivering. Whether Emily Bronte would approve remains a point of contention, but the film undeniably provokes strong feelings, ensuring it will be discussed long after its release.